Hello there.
Hello there.
Welcome back to Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a learner, a brother, a lover, a mentor. He is the ideal Jedi Knight. Well, at least the Jedi of his age. He is a smart negotiator, a noble warrior, a leader respected by all of his peers, a man who faced countless tragedies but never fell to the dark side. Oh, and he's also the master of the high ground and the most sassy troll in the galaxy.
Why do you even ask for my opinion? You never do things my way.
We crashed the ship your way.
And yet, Obi-Wan represents all the flaws and failures of the Jedi of his time. He embodies the Jedi Creed, the dogmatic views that brought down a republic and allowed the Empire to rise. But, from a certain point of view, Obi-Wan is one of the wisest and best characters in Star Wars. His wisdom and mistakes influenced 3 Skywalker generations. His actions and choices shaped the Skywalker saga. I think he is the most crucial character in Star Wars, and I'm going to explain how.
You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan, and you're a much wiser man than I am. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight.
Obi-Wan is the first Jedi we ever met. He was presented as a space wizard, a noble knight who embodied what was good and right. Naturally, Old Ben was perceived as the ideal Jedi, a paragon of the light side. But under the surface, Obi-Wan is a relic of a bygone era, the last member of a legendary fallen order. Kenobi is also a mysterious promise for the grander story. He's Luke's and our guide on an adventure like no other, our gateway to the larger Star Wars universe.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
However, even back in his introduction, it was apparent that the old wise master was scarred by his past, haunted by painful tragedies that will be revealed only following his death. After Luke learns that his father is Darth Vader, the benevolent image of Obi-Wan began to shatter. The concept of the ideal Jedi was called into question. We started seeing the other side of the equation, that the Jedi are far from being the perfect paragons of the good they present themselves to be. Obi-Wan was flawed, same as the order that he represented.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view?
Obi-Wan's from a certain point of view is one of the most crucial scenes in the entire Skywalker saga. It establishes that this epic story is far more complicated than just light versus dark. Obi-Wan's words are an introduction to the Jedi in the prequels.
I can't kill my own father.
He is like my brother. I cannot do it.
Then the Emperor has already won.
On the surface, it seems like Obi-Wan is dealing in absolutes, just like a Sith, but there's so much more nuance to this scene, and we're going to explain that in a little bit. Obi-Wan's importance to the Skywalker saga begins at the very start. Phantom Menace is the inception that will intertwine Kenobi with 3 generations of Skywalkers.
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hi. You're a Jedi too? Pleased to meet you.
While he was mostly sidelined in Episode 1, Obi-Wan still played a crucial role in the movie. When we meet Obi-Wan in the prequels, he's completely different from the wise master that we know. The young Obi-Wan was rebellious, constantly at odds with his master. A part of it is because Qui-Gon challenged the Council, and this led to Obi-Wan constantly questioning him. The apprentice pleaded with the Master to be more like the other Jedi, since he perceived masters like Yoda as the ideal representation of what a Jedi needed to be.
Do not defy the Council, Master, not again.
I shall do what I must, Obi-Wan.
If you would just follow the code, you would be on the Council.
But as a young Padawan, Obi-Wan dealt with an imbalance in his emotions, having much to learn before becoming a wise master. While Qui-Gon went against the curve, it's his independence and wisdom that will later shape Obi-Wan. That will then in turn shape Anakin and Luke. Learning is what makes Obi-Wan so wise. He constantly learns from his mistakes. His failures allow him to evolve and change. Now, while his skills as a Jedi are legendary, Obi-Wan became the ideal Jedi thanks to his wisdom. This allowed him to become a respected leader during the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan represents the key difference between knowledge and wisdom.
I should think that you Jedi would have more respect for the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Obi-Wan's first major change in the saga is Qui-Gon's death. Now, before we dive into the meaning of it all, I have to bring up this amazing moment.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
I love how Obi-Wan charges Darth Maul, as if he's been fired out of a blaster, fueled by so much rage after witnessing his master killed by this hellish demon. His rage clouds his judgment. His fury quickly burns out. But there's no rage that can match Darth Maul's. He is fury incarnate, forged by hate. Obi-Wan and the rest of the Jedi have never faced a Sith before. They knew peace for such a long time that they grew weak and comfortable. This almost kills Obi-Wan, but as he hangs on for dear life, Kenobi becomes mindful of his feelings.
Don't center on your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
This duel with Maul is the first time Obi-Wan sees that only with wisdom can he prevail. Overcoming his fear and his rage, he connects with the Force. He obtains clarity of purpose. And with the Force, he reclaims the high ground, cutting Maul in half. And this is not the last time Obi-Wan will face Maul. Their rivalry is one of the best aspects of Clone Wars.
I will make sure you stay awake long enough to feel every single cut. Your death will be beyond excruciating.
In fact, Obi-Wan has the best rivalries in the entire saga. The Duel of the Fates serves as the event that will shape Anakin's life and the rest of the saga. And I'm not even going to bother explaining why that is, because Dave Filoni already did it so beautifully, and there's no way I can match that.
What's at stake is really how Anakin's going to turn out. Qui-Gon is fighting because he knows he's the father that Anakin needs. It's everything that the entire 3 films of the prequels hangs on, is that one particular fight.
Qui-Gon's death wish is for Obi-Wan to train Anakin. And Obi-Wan takes on Anakin as his apprentice, but only out of respect for his master's final wish, not because he wanted to train the boy who will become Darth Vader. This choice puts Obi-Wan at odds with the Council, and it represents his growth. As an apprentice, Obi-Wan was devoted to the Council and the Jedi Creed, but now he makes a stand against Yoda.
I gave Qui-Gon my word. I will train Anakin, without the approval of the Council if I must.
But the irony is that Obi-Wan was the wrong master for Anakin. If he was the one who died and Qui-Gon would have trained Anakin instead, the events of the saga would have unfolded completely differently. Obi-Wan was an older brother to Anakin, but Obi-Wan couldn't be a true father figure for his apprentice.
He's overly critical. He never listens. He doesn't understand. It's not fair.
Their troubled relationship parallels the one between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. But eventually, Qui-Gon served as a balance to his apprentice, teaching him the importance of wisdom. But Obi-Wan was not able to be the master that Anakin needed. Anakin was too unruly, too rebellious, too sure of himself.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault. He's jealous. He's holding me back.
Obi-Wan never understood how to teach Anakin to deal with his emotions, how to lead his apprentice on the correct path, always fearing that Anakin will do something wrong, something that goes against the Jedi Code, seeing too much of Anakin's impulsive and brash nature.
Then we decided to come and rescue you. Good job.
And Anakin clearly felt these doubts from his master. He became resentful, and it festered, growing into a dangerous disillusion with the Jedi Order.
You lied to me. How many other lies have I been told by the Council? And how do you know that you even have the whole truth?
Which is why Anakin didn't trust his master with his darkest secrets. Instead, he turned to Palpatine for advice.
Your guidance more than my patience.
Who knew exactly how to manipulate Anakin's insecurities, his fears, and his anger.
I will do whatever you ask. Just help me save Padme's life.
Obi-Wan was too stuck in the dogmatic Jedi views, too sure of that Chosen One prophecy, too devoted to the Jedi Code. The Jedi became obsessed with this Chosen One prophecy. Qui-Gon's words to Obi-Wan were,
"He is the Chosen One."
And Obi-Wan and the Jedi put too much faith in the idea that Anakin would bring balance to the Force. He trusted the concept of the Chosen One, but not the man himself. This is again the clash between knowledge and wisdom. As the Clone Wars was nearing its end, Obi-Wan's faith in the Republic began to shatter, especially after the Council began to suspect Palpatine. In their final in-person meeting, both Yoda and Mace Windu are troubled by doubt, even losing their faith in the Chosen One prophecy.
With all due respect, Master, is he not the Chosen One?
So the prophecy says.
A prophecy that misread could have been.
Recognizing the failure of the Jedi's knowledge, Obi-Wan turns to his wisdom.
He will not let me down. He never has.
For so long, Obi-Wan didn't put his trust in Anakin. While there was so much doubt in him about his rebellious apprentice, Obi-Wan chose to finally put his faith in Anakin.
I am very proud of you. I have trained you since you were a small boy. I have taught you everything I know. And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be.
And this is why Anakin's fall to the dark side is so tragic. Anakin's turn, Order 66, the fall of the Republic, and the Jedi Order, it all shatters everything that Obi-Wan knew.
He is the Chosen One.
You are the Chosen One!
He will bring balance.
Not leave it in darkness!
It's the reason why, even as an old master, Obi-Wan can never trust Anakin again. And this is how we arrive at the second Duel of the Fates, the event that will change the master and apprentice forever. Obi-Wan tried to plead with his apprentice, find a way to convince him that he's wrong.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
But everything Obi-Wan said was wrong from Anakin's point of view. Every word only pushed Anakin further away, putting the master and apprentice on an inevitable path of destruction. Anakin's fall prevented Obi-Wan from using his wisdom. His feelings were a storm of uncertainty. He didn't want to kill his brother, but he knew that he must. He wanted to find a way to bring Anakin back from the dark, but he couldn't find the words to achieve it. Obi-Wan finally tries another approach with Anakin, admitting that he failed him.
I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you.
Hoping this will break through Sidious's hold over his apprentice. But at that point, it was too late. Anakin was lost and Obi-Wan couldn't save him.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost!
Like the Duel of the Fates with Maul, this one ends in the same fashion. Only this time, Obi-Wan stands where Maul once was. He has the high ground.
I have the high ground!
From Anakin's point of view, Obi-Wan represents the same thing that Maul represented to Obi-Wan all those years ago, a rival that he must kill. But unlike Obi-Wan, Anakin was too arrogant, too fueled by rage and evil, just like Maul did. Despite all of Obi-Wan's pleadings, Anakin attempts to strike his master, same as he did against Maul. But he fails, and Obi-Wan strikes Anakin down the same way Maul couldn't do all those years ago.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
George Lucas, you brilliant son of a bitch. While victorious in this battle, it all feels hollow. Obi-Wan knows that he failed. This terrible mistake burns what's left from Anakin Skywalker, and from the ashes of this failure, Darth Vader rises. Obi-Wan fails to strike his brother down, kill him and end the Sith.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
Anakin's turn breaks Obi-Wan. Everything he knew is gone. His entire world has ended. He failed Anakin, he failed Padme, he failed the Jedi, the Republic. He failed Qui-Gon. The only thing that keeps Obi-Wan going after he breaks is his new purpose, protecting Luke on Tatooine. The most important job in the universe, because Luke is destined to grow into the new chosen one. It's also an exile for Obi-Wan, a self-induced punishment for all of his failures. And this is what Obi-Wan Kenobi the show is going to explore.
When the time comes, he must be trained. Like you trained his father?
Years later in Rebels, we see how much Obi-Wan has changed, how he became the wise master. One of the best and most important moments in the show serves as a culmination to both the story established in the prequels as well as the Clone Wars, and that is the final duel of the fates between Obi-Wan and Maul.
Kenobi!
Obi-Wan took more than Maul's lower half. He took away his pride, his purpose. He unmade him. As revenge, Maul doesn't take Obi-Wan's life, but instead the only woman he ever loved. Obi-Wan's romance with Satine Kryze is one of the most true and interesting relationships in Star Wars. They truly loved one another.
Remember, my dear Obi-Wan, I've loved you always. I always will.
Yet their lives and responsibilities always stood in their way. The Creed forbade any romantic attachments, but he still loved Satine with all his heart.
Had you said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order.
And when Maul kills Satine right in front of him, Obi-Wan almost turned to the dark side. Anakin was seduced by Sidious because he was afraid of losing Padme, but Obi-Wan was able to control his feelings, overcome his rage and pain, and remain in the light.
It takes strength to resist the dark side, and those who oppose it are more powerful than you'll ever be.
The last time they faced each other, they were each on top. Obi-Wan was the accomplished general, the beloved war hero. Maul took over Mandalore. He was so sure that finally, after all those years of pain, he's back on top, that the way is paved for his revenge against all those who wronged him. In contrast, now, they're both shadows.
Look what has become of you. A rat in the desert.
Look what I have risen above.
But while Maul is defined by his failures, Obi-Wan was able to evolve past his failures. He understands his flaws, he was able to overcome his regrets, and now he has found peace. Obi-Wan accepts his role in something greater than himself. He's there to be the mentor, to train Luke, and to help him bring balance to the galaxy. Through Luke, Obi-Wan can finally make things right, fix the mistake that led to Vader's creation and the rise of the Empire. This is why Obi-Wan sacrifices his own life when he faces Vader. It's no longer about him. He's only there to set Luke on the right path, to be the master that he couldn't be for Anakin. But Maul still believes it's all about him and his revenge, and when Maul learns about Luke and threatens him, Obi-Wan knows that he must put an end to his most bitter rival. There's so much storytelling in this duel. Obi-Wan assumes his traditional Form 3 stance, only then to shift to Form 4, the same one used by Qui-Gon. Maul recognizes the Ataru stance. Like always, his arrogance fuels him. He's so sure he can trick Obi-Wan the same way he did Qui-Gon. He relies on his knowledge of the past, not having the wisdom to see the trap that Obi-Wan laid. Obi-Wan uses his wisdom to outsmart Maul, knowing his rivals so well. Obi-Wan evolved thanks to wisdom, while Maul stayed the same because of knowledge. It's a brilliant moment, as well as a fitting end for Maul.
Is it the chosen one?
He is.
He will avenge us.
But Obi-Wan's wisdom is called into question once we arrive at From a Certain Point of View scene. When Luke learns that Obi-Wan kept the truth from him, his belief in the Jedi is shaken. He refuses to kill his father, believing there's still good in him, while both Obi-Wan and Yoda seem to be unable to change their dogmatic views, asserting that Vader is beyond saving.
I can't kill my own father.
Then the Emperor has already won.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Obi-Wan has changed, but he's also a very flawed character. No matter how much peace he found, he is still scarred by the past. But he had the wisdom to understand this. Obi-Wan knew that he and Yoda had to die to make way for Luke, so he can find his own path without the constraints of the past. That's the meaning of a certain point of view. He didn't lie to Luke, he simply didn't tell him the truth about his father or his sister.
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
But Luke wasn't ready for the truth. He needed to face his trials, learn and evolve before he could deal with the truth. So when that truth was finally revealed, he could handle it and not be destroyed by its weight. Obi-Wan learned from his mistakes with Anakin. He put his trust in Luke to do the right thing.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is the very reason why he's able to bring his father back from the dark side, because he trusted in his feelings. He believed in that wisdom. And Luke is able to use wisdom to forge his own path because he was taught by Obi-Wan. And this is how Obi-Wan shaped the Skywalker saga, how his wisdom allowed Luke to bring peace and order to the galaxy. But that peace was extremely short and disappointing, because Luke ended up repeating the same mistakes as his master. In his fears to create a new Darth Vader, just like Obi-Wan did, Luke turned Ben into Kylo Ren. And that's how Obi-Wan shaped the third Skywalker. Well, Solo, but you know what I mean. Luke then had to learn the same lessons that Obi-Wan did, which allowed him to help Rey the way Obi-Wan had helped Luke. So technically, Obi-Wan shaped Rey's path as well. And that's how Obi-Wan Kenobi shaped the Skywalker saga. It's why he's one of the best and most important characters in Star Wars.
When you're a Jedi Master, you can make the plan.
That's just it. How can I become a Jedi Master if I'm always getting caught?
At least you're a master at getting caught.
So, what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below, or you can @ me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.